Feel like boys who grew up with no guidance get treated differently than girls who grew up with no guidance. I feel like when a man says, "Oh, I act like this," or "I'm the way I am now because I didn't have no guidance," everybody excuses him. You get what I'm saying? They're like, "Okay, I understand it." But when they see a girl who's like, or a woman who's showing symptoms of being a girl who grew up with no guidance, they're like, "Oh, she don't have an excuse. She need to get her act together, or she's moving too fast." Like, I don't like that, to be honest. When a man grows up with no guidance, oftentimes they turn to the streets, and the girl could do the same thing. Like, when a girl grows up with no guidance, she ends up turning to the streets, and I feel like the girl gets judged more.
Really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw that clip. First and foremost, men and women are judged differently. I get that. But now we got to get into some other stuff about this kind of stuff. I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick to the no guidance thing in the beginning. Only in the beginning. There are people who don't have guidance and they act like they don't have guidance. So they're going to get harsh consequences either way. But the vast majority of these people who act like they don't have guidance and say they don't have guidance, they just hard-headed motherfuckers. That's all. They were hard-headed motherfuckers. They were rebellious and hard-headed. And then when it's time to pay the cost, then it's like, I didn't have any guidance. Nobody told me. Bullshit. You knew right from wrong. You just chose wrong. But you don't want the backlash. Now, getting to the other part of this, it's no nice way to say this, when you say, people go to the streets, here's the big difference. Guys go to jail and get killed in the streets with no guidance. Women go to jail at a lower rate and get killed at a lower rate in the streets, acting like they got no guidance. But they also set men up to get killed. So it's like, that's an issue. Now, what I'm gonna say is this, but I'm also add to this. That's in the drug trade. Now in the sex trade, a girl could lose their life, get kidnapped, snatched up, be trafficked because she has no guidance and she wound up in that situation, or she's so rebellious that she wound up in that situation. So when it comes to sex trafficking, there's far more consequences for women than men, far more. But at the same time, like here's the other interesting aspect of it. You know, since you on YouTube, you can watch on YouTube now that they got prostitutes in like California and Vegas, and just walking out. They got videos of them walking out in the street, broad daylight. Nothing's happening to them. Like that's not, you know, that type of criminal lifestyle all out in the open is not something that a man can do. So, with that being said, ladies get more of a pass than men. And just in the general sense of we're looked at as more destructive and scary and dangerous because we can do more than you ladies could do physically to somebody, right? So giving people a pass, I don't think men get passes like that because the streets don't give passes. No, well, I'm not gonna. They rarely give passes. How about that? It's for guys. The streets have given passes for women for as long as I've lived. So it's lessening. It's less than it was because women getting popped nowadays too because they're not getting the pass. So in some ways I get it, but in others it doesn't make sense. So for me, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And then I'll say this: some of you young ladies, y'all know y'all get away with more stuff. Y'all done lied on more people. Y'all done cheated more people. Y'all done stole from more people. You know, with no consequence. Like a lot of you young ladies don't actually know what a consequence actually is because you don't really face consequences like that. So, ultimately, it's disingenuous or you're ill informed, or maybe you're just so much of a, you know, team woman and team feminism that you can't see the facts just staring right at in front of your face. Because, and I don't even gotta have the reckless part or the no guidance part. I could go with that, but at the same time, you know, you could be reckless and no guidance, and if you're cute, you're gonna get somebody gonna fly you out. Guys are not gonna get that. Oh man, he ain't got no guidance. So we gonna so girl, I think he cute. We gonna fly him out. Like, does it happen? Yes, it's rare. Like the guy that got locked up and y'all thought he was super cute. Oh, he's so fine. Look at him. That's not a normal thing, right? So, and there's a few women who had that same treatment afterwards. Um, so when it comes to like men having it easier than women, that's ridiculous. I think sometimes, you know, a lot of times people lack empathy and they can't put themselves in somebody else's shoes. So they think that they got it worse, but in essence, you don't. Because let's just say you have no guidance and you act out in society. In a general sense, the things you do that's dysfunctional as a woman in society, you can go home after you do them. If a man does them, he's going to jail. So that's just the reality of it. That's why it doesn't come off as the same or even in the same stratosphere most times. Guys are not trying to hear it because, like I said earlier, our consequences are far greater than yours. So I'm going to leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, I gave you everything I had.